here. So I'm gonna take both of my hands and I'm gonna grab at the bottom of his sleeve cuff right here, okay? So we go from elbows on quads to, I'm gonna wrap around one of his sleeves, okay? I'm gonna pick a side. I'm not grabbing both of these. I have no power here, okay? So I'm gonna have power though if I go 2-on-1, okay? So I'm coming from here, elbows on the quads, and we're just gonna grab his wrist, grab his sleeve right here, okay? From here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make, the kids remember it really well, just calling it a rainbow, okay? Once I get this 2-on-1, I bring it all the way to the other side of my body like this, okay? Now I like to re-grip on the bicep, okay? Go to push your hand out, Sawyer. See, he can't stick his hand out to catch himself now. The one thing that he can do though, if I don't block this leg, I go to bridge and roll that direction, he sticks his leg out, and I can't get any leverage here, okay? So before he can stick his leg out, I'm gonna step over like this, go to stick your leg out, go to stick your hand out. So you can't stick anything out now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bridge and roll in that direction, okay? Don't bridge straight up and then try to roll. If you bridge straight up and try to roll, don't fall over. If you bridge straight up and then try to roll, you're sending a lot of power straight up and nothing that way, right? So I bridge and then I go to roll. I'm not gonna have much. But if I send my bridge in that direction and then follow through with the roll, it's gonna be a lot more powerful, okay? So we'll go over it again, slow things down a little bit. Okay, we trap this arm, okay? Just like I showed you before. So we go to step over this foot and he brings his foot up like that. Okay, Dino was asking me about this. If somebody brings their foot up like this and makes it impossible for you to step over, it's a really, really easy escape that you can hit from here, okay? So I'm gonna let go of both of my hands and I'm gonna take both of them and go under like this, okay? So you see how he stuck his leg up? I'm going both under, okay? So what I'm gonna do now, sometimes I'll do it, but you're gonna come out differently. You're gonna do the escape differently. So what I want you guys to do, I don't want you to roll into his base, okay? Because, I mean, you're trying to lift his whole body. If you do this, he might sink his weight down. So like sink down, yeah, like that. He might make himself heavy, but he doesn't have anything. His body is not over here, right? All that's over here is his foot and his ankle, his shin. Whereas his whole body's over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna roll into him like this. I know I'll see this from a few people, but it's not a big deal. I'm gonna roll away from him, okay? Where there's nothing over here. So I'm gonna bridge and roll while I'm lifting. I'm basically lifting my arms and I bridge and roll out, okay? We can come up on a single leg. So get his hands on the mat. I've got T-Rex arms. I try to do the first escape. I'm gonna step over his leg, it's not there. I'm gonna take both of my arms, go under. I'm not trying to bridge and roll towards him. I'm bridging and rolling away from him. As I lift up, and we're out. Okay, you might come up on a single leg, or if nothing else, you're out. All right. What a lot of guys will do, if you beat him to the punch and you take away both of these posts, they start to stick this arm and catch themselves. So I get a bridge, and he sticks that arm out and catches himself. Okay, so I did everything right to this point. I gave him a good bridge, and he was just fast enough to catch himself. Okay, fast or strong enough. So what I'm gonna do now, I like to let go of the bicep. I'm gonna hook up on his other bicep that he just caught himself with. I'm gonna let go of the wrist. I like to clamp down on everything right here, okay? And now, as he goes to kind of like center back up with me, I'm gonna switch my feet, and I'm gonna bridge and roll in the opposite direction. Okay? So we'll go one more time. Slow. So, I do everything right. I'm gonna catch here. I don't let him stick that leg out, okay? I go to bridge and roll. I give him a good bridge, but he catches himself anyway. I'm gonna let go of his bicep, hook high on his other arm. I'm gonna let go of his wrist, hook here, and now I'm just gonna switch my feet. As he goes to center back up, we're gonna bridge and roll in the other direction. Okay, so I don't want you guys, I know I'll see it, but I don't want you guys to rely, let's go ahead and get right here. I don't want you to rely on just grabbing this second arm with one arm, okay? Because the problem is, like, if you've only got one arm on this, he might be able to free this arm, okay? Okay, so, or he might be able to free this arm. I like to double down on the side that we're going to, okay? Not just on one side or the other, because as you're going back towards the center, maybe he frees one, okay? Okay, maybe if you have like a significant size advantage, maybe you could rely on this. But I know that if I have a 2-on-1, more times than not, I'm gonna be able to beat that limb. Whereas, I mean, he has gravity on his side. If I'm relying on being strong enough to handle both limbs as I go to do this, who knows, maybe he ends up in a scramble, frees his legs, or frees his arms, and then we're in a scramble that we didn't need to have. Okay, so I'm here, he catches himself. I come here, I double down on this arm. We switch our feet, bridge and roll, okay? I don't like to have one hand on each arm. Okay, I like to have both of my hands on one of it. All right, last time. So, I'm in here. Feel right. I'm gonna catch high. 1, 2. Just like that. Does anybody have any questions? Just build it off what we already learned. All right, clap on 2, 1, 2.